Okay, so we are back for another recipe this week. This week we are doing peppers and eggs. Okay, very, very basic. You see the ingredients here. We've got a little bit of milk. We're only going to use, I don't know, a tablespoon or two of that. I got 3 pieces of mild provolone up front. We got some red pepper flakes, which is optional. We have 2 peppers. We're using Cubanelle, or some people might pronounce it Cubanelle. Okay, you can get these in a bag at any grocery store. I believe would have them. This is what they look like. This is what you would look for. Okay, so we're using those. Now these peppers, these aren't really hot. I mean, as far as like, you know, if you compare it to a jalapeno or something like that, it's way less than that. They're just more of a sweet pepper. You buy them like this. They're usually green in the bag, but if you let these sit for a little bit, maybe a few days or whatever, these are going to turn red. Same flavor, become a little bit maybe sweeter, but these are more of a sweet pepper. So these go really, really good with eggs. We got 4 large eggs up front here. We've got a clove of garlic that we're going to mince up. We got a little bit of olive oil, and we have a really amazing, I always say it in all my videos because this is where I go to get my bread from, Nino's from out of Albany, New York. So we're doing Nino's bread today. And that's what this recipe consists of. Maybe a little salt and pepper that I don't have on the board, and maybe just a I don't know, half a tablespoon or a tablespoon of butter to saute the garlic and the peppers. Other than that, this is about it for this recipe. This is going to be delicious. If anybody's ever had peppers and eggs before, this is big with us Italians. We love our peppers and eggs. You can have this for dinner. You can have it for breakfast. It's just good anytime. What doesn't an Italian cook halfway decent, right? Okay, I know, little pat on the back for us Italians. But that's it. That's what we're doing this week. So let's get started. Let me clear some of this off. I'll show you how I cut up the peppers. We'll chop up the garlic a little bit, and then we'll be on with this recipe. All right, you can preheat a pan if you want to. You could do this in a skillet. I'm doing this in I believe it's a 14-inch square, like roaster pan on top of the stove, because that'll give me hot areas of the pan and cool areas of the pan, you know, so the eggs don't get overdone and stuff like that. Okay, we'll be right back. Let's do a little bit of prepping. All right, first things first, we're just going to bring a bowl in, okay, and we are going to crack our eggs, and then we're going to crack our eggs here. And if you get a shell inside, use the shell to actually get your shell out of the outside. If you let me start that over again. If you crack an egg and you get a shell inside your eggs, use the shell to kind of dip it out, you know, to scoop it out. All right, so 4 eggs go in. Hold on 1 second. Let's just, I don't know what it is. I always get egg on my hands when I do this. Everybody does, I think. And we're just going to put probably about 2 tablespoons of milk. All right. And what we're going to do is we're going to scramble these up. Now, I do know some people that don't scramble their eggs. They just crack them in whole, and then they kind of mix them in with the pan and the peppers and stuff like that. You can absolutely do that. So we're just going to scramble these up pretty good. Okay, that's it for that. All right, on to the peppers. Let's cut these peppers up now. We're gonna just take the top off, and I'm gonna cut these like I do any other pepper. These are no different. Okay, we'll cut them down just like this, and then, well, the inside literally falls out. So I guess you're good there, right? There we go. Take out the little vein inside here. Now again, these aren't hot, so if you're worried about it being too hot, don't worry, because these peppers aren't that hot. They might have a little more, definitely more sweetness than anything else. Okay, so I'm not going to do all these with you guys, but we will show you how I cut them up, which is basically just like that. Okay, something like that, like little matchsticks maybe. Okay. All right, so I'm going to cut this one up. We're going to cut up the next one as well, and then we'll bring you back and we'll get over to the stove. Okay, next thing's next. We're going to smash up our garlic here and take the wrap off. There we go. I was just going to say, sometimes they come off easy, sometimes they don't. Now, if you watch my videos, you always know I take the end off. So we're going to take the end off. That's all we're going to do with this, right? Just like this. Just like this. A little fine minced, I think, is going to go awesome in this dish. Now you cut these, you know, you want them bigger. You like a bigger piece of garlic. You go ahead and cut that any way you want to, but I wouldn't skimp on the garlic. All right, that's it. That's the garlic. There's our garlic. There's our peppers. Over to the stove. Let's get this recipe started. I'm excited about getting this one done. All right, so here we go. First things first. Over at this is a 13¼ inch. I'm using all clad here today. Love this cookware. If you guys are interested in any of this stuff, in the description below, there's links to all my pots, all my pans, utensils, stuff that I use, so on and so forth. Okay, so here's where the olive oil comes in. So we're gonna put, this may look like on camera, it seems like it's always looks like a little bit more than what it is. So we're gonna put in some olive oil. Now I'm not worried about this smoking or anything like that, because we're not using high temperatures, right? Like, I don't use extreme high temperatures when I do anything with eggs, right? Because I don't want the eggs to turn. Now I'm gonna say that's probably about 4 tablespoons roughly. You guys might argue that point. That's fine. Like I said, it always looks like much more when I put olive oil in there. Okay, and we're gonna do like maybe a tablespoon of butter as well. All right, just add a little richness to it, I guess. Again, you don't even have to do that if you don't want to. Let me get my spatula here. Okay, so I'm happy with that. Not too high. You can see it's just starting to bubble up a little bit. Okay, and now what we're going to do is we're going to throw our peppers in. We're going to saute these down until these are soft. Okay, could take like 15 minutes, 15-20 minutes. All right, just like that. And then after we do the peppers, we're gonna throw the garlic in and some red pepper flake, because I like things a little bit spicy. So right now we're gonna season as we go along. We're gonna throw a little salt in there. We're also gonna throw a tad bit pepper. All right, so that's it for right now. We're gonna let these go. We're gonna get these soft. Sauteing these for about 10 minutes, and now they're getting to a point with the olive oil and the butter that they're starting to soften up quite a bit. Okay, that's exactly what we want. At least that's exactly what I want. Now you can literally cut these like this right now at this point. Okay, so what we're going to do, just because now this is an optional step, I'm only doing this because I like a little heat to my stuff. We're gonna put a bit of, very little, like maybe like a pinch of red pepper flake, and we're gonna let that get into the oil and the butter here, and we're gonna let that work itself down. Now it's not gonna be too long now before we start adding the garlic. And I do want to let you know that like this now is going to go fast, okay? So you can also, which I'm going to, you see, I'm just going to kind of, before I add the garlic, I'm just going to cut these in half. Now the other good thing that's really, really nice about these peppers, it's not like a bell pepper. Like a bell pepper has a very, like a kind of a thick skin on it. Okay, these do not. These have a very, very thin skin on them, which makes them like awesome for this kind of thing. Okay, so that's about good there. You can chop these any way you want to. It's not a right or wrong way to do it. It's just a way just to, so they're not as big. And I guess you could also do that in the chopping process. You could cut them down a little bit more. All right, so from there we're going to add our garlic in. Right now, rule of thumb with the garlic is like you always hear me say, you saute the garlic until you start to smell it. Once you smell it, we're going to put something wet in there. Okay, no jokes. Anyways, I don't know, one of those days. I'm in a happy cooking mood today, so that's what we got. All right, we don't want to burn the garlic because it throws off a very bitter taste called allicin, and we don't like that. So we do it until, now if you like burnt garlic, then help yourself, do your thing. All right, so as soon as we start to smell the garlic, which should only be another minute or so, we're going to dump the egg, and then we're going to mix all that in. That is going to be how we're going to make this sandwich. So I'll bring you guys back as soon as I start to smell the garlic, and we'll dump the eggs. So we are starting to smell the garlic, which means that we need to put something liquidy or wet inside here to stop that cooking process. So what goes in? Yep, put the eggs in, just like that. All right. And then what we're going to do is we're just going to keep mixing this. Okay, I'm just going to keep mixing all this in until the eggs start forming. Now that's going to cool the pan down too, just so you know. I'm going to incorporate that butter and that olive oil. Oh, this looks so good. This is big for us Italians. This is big. Alright, and you're going to keep doing this now until we get to the consistency with the eggs that we're looking for, right? So we're going to throw a little salt on it. We're also going to put a little black pepper on it, and that's going to be it for seasoning. Okay, so like I said, you don't want it like an omelet. You want to cook it. Everybody might cook theirs different, but I don't like runny eggs, so I do like my eggs a little bit set up. So we're going to cook some of that moisture, just a little bit of it. We're not gonna dry them out because we're not rolling the eggs at all. You know, like a crepe or something like that. So, and this is another reason why I don't like to use high heat on eggs, because you won't get that brown look on the bottom. Okay, you know, like you're frying an egg. You know, if you want a fried egg, you should smell what this smells like in here. It smells so good. Okay, almost done. And then this is going to go into our hoagie roll, and then we're going to wrap it and it's going to sit for 10 or 15 minutes to get the steam in through it, to melt the cheese, to get the roll soft, all that good stuff. Easy recipe, but there is a way to do it. Now you could also add some onion to this if you want to. You could chop up an onion. You could also do that, okay? But me, I'm gonna call this pretty much done, where it's still a little bit, it's got a lot of moisture in it, but at the same time it's not completely dried out. It's still moist, okay? And that moisture is gonna make that roll nice and soft. So we're gonna kill the heat. I'm gonna take this over to the other side of the kitchen. We're gonna stuff that roll, we're gonna wrap it, and then we're gonna do a taste test, okay? First things first, we're gonna bring our really good roll, real nice roll here. I know I always brag about these rolls, but they're just so good. All right, and we're going to just run a knife down the center, okay? And we're gonna open this up, and you could take a little bit, if you want to, a little bit out of the center of this, okay, just like that. And then you can also do the same thing to the bottom if you want to get this really filled. It just adds a little bit more room for the filling, okay? But you don't have to do it. You don't want to do it, you don't have to do it. All right, so that's it. That's our bread. And now what we're going to do is we're going to take a spatula here, and we're going to just fill our sandwich in. Okay. I know you don't think this is any big thing, but watch, you'll see. Okay. And this was what? This was 4 eggs in this sandwich. 4 eggs, 2 peppers. Oh, you know what I forgot to do? Oh boy. Well, that doesn't look very professional. Okay, so that has to go. First things first. My bad on that one. We're putting our mild provolone on this sandwich. There we go. Now it's starting to make sense, right? Okay. And then we're gonna put the filling. Sometimes we make mistakes like that, right? And these eggs are hot. Very, very hot. And that pan is still hot. Everything's hot. Don't touch anything. Don't be like me. Right? We're always touching hot stuff. I have friends of mine that always turns around and says, I can't believe you touched that. Okay, so there we go. The egg looks fantastic. The peppers look fantastic. Now we're gonna fold this up like this. Just gonna set that off camera for a second. And we're going to clean up some of our mess. All right, and we're going to bring in some aluminum foil, and we're going to literally wrap this. Okay, just like this. Now we're going to let this sit nice and tight. Make sure you wrap it up good. We're going to let this sit for about 15 minutes, and then we're going to come back, and it's going to be, cheese is going to be melted, the bun's going to be nice. So 15 minutes, we'll see you then. Okay, so we left this wrapped for about 13 minutes. We're going to unwrap this. Oh, perfect. Just like it should be. Just like, oh, moron. Look at this. Look, got some oil on it. Oh, boy. All right, let's grab a knife. Let's stop being silly. Let's grab a knife. Let's get this over here And let's cut this and let's show you. Look at that, peppers and eggs. Oh, mud on. Okay, and now we're just gonna bring a plate in. Not much to plate in this, guys. We're just gonna kind of do that so you can see it. Okay, so we got the olive oil and the butter that kind of seeped into the roll, which is that's the plan, right? That's what you want to do. The cheese is melted. There you can see the cheese. See the cheese here? It's all melted. It's beautiful. All right, so we're not even going to break for a taste test today. We're going to go right at this. This is my lunch today. Does that look good? I think that looks pretty good. Yeah? Okay, let's take a bite of this. Here we go. Those peppers are absolutely beautiful. You taste the salt and pepper when you seasoned it. You can definitely taste the butter and olive oil. Not a lot of heat in this sandwich, not a lot of heat. You can taste the provolone, the mild provolone. Absolutely fantastic. All right. Okay. So good. So good. Could eat these every day. All right. That's it, guys. If you guys liked what I did here today, which I think you should definitely like this if you make this. If you do make this, leave a comment below. Let me know how you guys like this. Wrapping it is very important. You want all those flavors to come together. You want that butter to get into the roll, all that stuff, okay? You guys like what I did, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. Click the notification bell, put a thumbs up, share this with your friends. Us Italians, we love this, and I bet you anybody that tries this would absolutely love this. All right, that is it. I am going to eat this beautiful sandwich for lunch today, and that is it for me. Everybody be safe. It's crazy out there. Look out for one another. We will see you in the next recipe next week. Everybody take care.